Hello and welcome back to Elvan Arcy's Banishment. We're just continuing right where we left off. I took a few minutes to think about this answer here. So to remind everyone, in the last episode, 83 nomads showed up at my front door asking for citizenship. And I'm like, this probably isn't going to end well, but I like nomads. So we're going to invite them in. We're going to lower the speed down slightly for a little bit because now we have a bunch of new laborers. And we're going to need more food. Like, honestly, we're going to need more food. I know that seems ridiculous because just a few episodes we were sitting on, a surplus of like 20,000 food a year. But having 83 new mouths to feed is actually quite a bit. And now I'm trying to figure out where to put our new farming center. I think, honestly, there's no good spot for it. I'm just trying to find one. All my land is pretty much already spoken for, except for here. So here it's gonna be, but there's no housing down here. See, that's the problem. You need to have housing near your farmers so that they can commute to work in a reasonable time frame. So, although down there would be perfect from that space, but we're gonna put it here. So we're gonna just set up an 11 by 11 field here. Because, basically what I'm thinking is we need to feed these people that I just let into my town. And what better way of doing it than by more farmland? Plague. No. Plague is bad. Game, why are you punishing me? I have enough physicians that it should be okay. So we're going to drop another house thing here. House thing, wow, storage barn, that's the word. Okay, then we're going to get another set of fields. $11 by 11, let's see. I need it here. 11 by 11. And in this gap here, I really can only fit 11 by 8. You know what, we're going to make it 12 by 8. Just get a little bit of extra space out of it. Alright, now this should be able to be built trivially fast. We have plenty of laborers. And so this should be in by next season. Assuming we don't all die to disease. And then what we're going to do is we're going to really expand this housing block. We have some starvation going on? That doesn't seem right. So we're going to get this massive expansion project to kind of house all these nomads. They should be staying in the boarding house, though, I would assume. Or can my boarding house not actually hold that many people? No, it's got space. So I'm going to assume they're living in the boarding house. Or in school, or something, or another thing. What I'm going to do is I'm just going to up the priority on these, because like I said, this needs to be running by next season. And we're going to probably I should just dismantle this building, you know what? But hold on, let's see what you got here. Tools, 1,500 steel tools. Ooh, I love it. All right, if I give you 9,000 of this and 9,000 of this, and if I want 1,500 steel tools, that actually works out perfectly. I think, honestly, I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna just switch. I'm gonna turn off the orders. Because 1,500 steel tools will last me a while. Now we're going to do this trade. And we're going to dismiss you. And then I'm going to actually not have any food in my inventory here. Alright? And the reason behind that is I need space. I'm going to need the food. So I don't want to dump it into that area since I just traded it all away. So we're going to expand the farm fields further, by the way. You know what I'm going to do is I'm going to just... Although this house is going to be irrelevant now pretty much. This woodcutter. We're going to kind of give it space though, because I want to keep a nice even row of fields. So I'll have 3 11 by 11s here. And just for sanity, I'm gonna put another storage barn down here. Let's hook up the paths. And I'm gonna put one last field, 11 by 11, right here. It's not parallel, that's fine. I just want these fields need to be done, and they need to be done now. So we're just gonna up the priority on that. Those 3 fields, getting them ready. They don't really have to be done now, but they have to be done soon. So we're gonna put you for a wheat field. You're gonna be a potato field. Basically, I'm assuming now that the snow's out, people aren't really working that much on the farms. Hopefully these 16 homeless people. Wow, why did I think it was 46 when it's only 16? Hopefully these 16 homeless people aren't going to struggle too much this winter. But what I'm going to do is I'm going to just drop down a few more houses, because we need to house all of them. We're doing okay on food. I'm just concerned. Basically, I figured we took a gamble when I decided to let these people in. But who am I to turn away 83 lonely people who have no homes? At least that's my excuse. Alright, so we got 3 of the fields done. We got 2 more finishing up, hopefully shortly. I have 61 builders worth of projects. You know, that might be a bit overkill, but it'll be good. Once these guys all have jobs, I can finally finish filling in my mining slots. So once these farm fields are done, sorry, let me put it that way. You're going to be corn, but you're going to be down to 1 in person. I don't need 2 people working that tiny field. Honestly, I don't even think I need 2 people working these 11 by 11 fields, or so people have been telling me. But we're going to go with it. By the way, I take most of my knowledge from the streams that I've done on this game and previous failings. So regardless of how accurate it is, it's the information that I've been using. So we're in late winter. It looks like we are going to have most of these fields up by spring. So that means most of these fields will run, or at least in theory will run, this year. And that's just good. Alright, it's officially late winter. They'll start planting in early spring, most likely. Which will be marvelous. Thankfully, people can walk over farm fields, by the way. Now, the commutes of these guys, the first few people here, are going to be some problems. But that's okay. That's to be kind of expected. For the first year, I mean, the commute's going to be difficult. So I don't expect that good of a harvest out of these houses, out of these fields, because basically, if I look at the commutes, and let me find the button. Here it is. Let's actually click it. Like, this guy's commute is coming all the way down from up there. Most of these people, or some of these people, aren't going to be living in these houses right next to it yet. I like how I clicked the one field with the ridiculous commute, and since I clicked on it, they've all gone to more reasonable commutes. Alright. That means the game is working the way I was hoping it would. Alright, so now we're going to extend some paths through here. And we're going to have this area here, and I'm going to put housing in it. The reserve of firewood is low. Yes, yes it is. Alright, but we have currently 34 laborers. I want to get some more people in the mines. We're going to actually just max out the mines. We're going to get the full 90 people working in the coal mines. We don't need iron right now. We're going to make more coal. So we have 90 people spread out over the coal mines, just producing coal. This is hopefully enough to maybe offset a little bit of our firewood consumption, because we are struggling with firewood production right now. We are just short on logs. And so I'm kind of just trying to add in forestry huts wherever I can think to put one. But so far so good. We're still at around 37,000 food. Well, I guess 35,000 food going into the summertime, which is pretty good. And we're coming down here and see what you got for sale. The food merchant. I don't need you. Get out of here. Typically food is what I use to trade anyways, so buying food seems obnoxious to me unless I can get it at a good rate, which I'm pretty sure I can't. Now this is the next area to expand into, very simply. And what we're going to need here is we're going to need to start a market. And I think because if I look at there's a mountain there, a mountain here, the best place for the market's actually going to be down here a little bit. So we're going to set up a market here, and honestly, although I already put a bridge in, I'm going to put in a second bridge. Now that might be excessive. Well, okay, let me phrase that. It is excessive, but I think it's just a smart call on my part. At least that's what I want to think. So we're going to put bean field here and have 2 more people. I mean, you're not going to plant this year. There's not a chance. Look at how little this person's planted corn. This field's not going to produce anything, but that's fine. Like I said, the goal isn't to optimize the output from these guys. It's to get something. So we're going to set up a few houses down here. Just in this region, because they will be houses essentially for the farmers. And why not let the farmers live close to home, you know? I think it's a good idea. Or work close to home. I think it's a good idea. Shortens their commute, makes life easier. Maybe they enjoy life a little bit more this way. Who knows? You know, none of that's really a bad thing. But we've also done a great service to ourselves in the short term. And since I'm a short-sighted person today, and only today, we're going to harvest all these trees. Wait. Let's be a little bit more intelligent. We're going to harvest these trees. As I can see, they're actually still working on a previous harvest order. So we're going to let them keep going with that. Hi, little deer. Moose. Moose or deer? What are you? Deer. Just walk through the water. You know, that is quite the deer. Jesus deer or something like that. It's a biblical deer can walk on water. Alright, and then what we're also going to do in a minute, I'm going to just unpause all these. And these houses will probably hold some miners and things like that throughout the year. Also, I have to make sure, by the way, I have no limit on coal. Excellent. Alright, because I just want to have a lot of coal. Honestly, the fact that we have about 900 coal going into winter is pretty awesome to me. Our blacksmiths are never going to really be employed as blacksmiths. And I don't know where I built this recent forestry hut. It's not you. Oh, this one. You're not in a very optimal location, so you only need 3 people. The funny thing is I built this one here because I was like, oh, I'm not going to put anything down here. It's going to just be for forestry, for firewood production. And oh, was I wrong. I just instantly just fill it up like within 10 minutes of it being finished. I'm like, oh yeah, this area. Yeah, we're going to put a giant settlement here. A lot of houses, a lot of farm fields. Yeah, you wanted to plant trees? No, we don't do that anymore. Trees aren't a thing in this town. And I'm actually really hoping, by the way, that I can basically decrease my firewood production and supplement it with this coal production that I've got going on. As you can tell, we have a fair amount of coal stockpile just sitting here. And honestly, I might add another mine. Because clearly they're all running at capacity right now. So where could I fit another mine conveniently? I'd have to destroy a row of houses. No, thank you. Come on. Okay. 1. 2, 3, 4 more mines. And what do you have? Seeds? I don't need corn seeds or apple seeds right now. So I'm getting a few more mines. I'm not going to really use them much right now. I don't know how the efficiency of a mine scales with people, but I want to have the mines ready. And we're at the middle of winter and we still have a ton of coal and a reasonable amount of firewood. So with any luck, I can slowly make the transition away from solely relying on firewood and the excessively large quantities of it that we need right now, and transition more into coal. Go from burning a renewable resource to burning fossil fuels, you know? It's almost like we're going back in technology, but whatever. Have I learned from politics in this country lately? I'm from America. Facts and environment doesn't seem to matter anymore. Or I guess it never really did to a lot of people here. And wow, we're at capacity on students. That is lovely. That clearly means we need more schools. School buildings. Where are school buildings? Come on. Law and order. There we go. I don't need a chapel. People in my house, my town are happy. Or else. Let's see, there are no gaps along this path, along this row of schoolhouses, for me to run a path. Alright, so we're significantly increasing our school capacity. And honestly, we're not going to need it. I doubt we're ever going to have this many kids, this many students again. But you know, it's nice to have. Currently, we have a lot of laborers. Not really doing much of anything. Slackers. But whatever. I mean, I can live with it. Alright, once this clear-cut order that I issued myself is done, then I can actually build this road down and not have to worry about it. But we made it through the winter. We never ran out of coal. We never ran out of firewood. So at least we've reached a balance. It's not necessarily the balance I want, but we've reached a balance. It's better than nothing. This year, I expect a better harvest than last. Maybe. I'm optimistic. Let's put it that way, that we'll have a better harvest than last. I'm hoping this isn't too long of a commute. And we can keep filling this in with houses, but we are getting close to that 900 population goal. If we look at this graph somewhere, I keep getting disoriented because I keep accidentally changing the camera angle slightly, which hopefully isn't too horribly annoying. But we have a huge growth there, but we are at about 750 people. If I bother to do the math, we're at about 739 people exactly. Give or take a couple because math is hard. But overall, this is good. This area is getting established. Well, the clear-cut order that I issued here is getting done. I have way too many building projects again. I guess that they're all probably working on the mine up north. So let's just check that out. The 4 mines that I'm building are going up. Yeah. So those are being worked on nicely. And they're going to cost me a fair amount of firewood or logs, which otherwise would be firewood. I'm going to issue a small clear-cut order on these trees up north because they're going to have to go anyways. I might as well do it now rather than later. The mines are working fine up north. How are my 2 mines in the middle of my base doing? They might be running low. Nah, they're doing great. So we have so much coal production. Honestly, my coal industry far exceeds the amount of people in my wood industry, but the difference is that it takes up a lot less space. And that's really what my thought process is on having all these mines, is space. Getting firewood for all my people is actually just takes up a ton of space. So I'm going to issue an increased priority order down here. I want to see this get done. I want to see at least the trees get chopped down, people to come down here and handle that. I know there's a lot of other things that they're working on, but for now, that's my goal. General goods merchant. I don't need anything right now. No, I really don't. I have plenty of tools, so we're going to just dismiss you. That's my favorite merchant, and I don't know if there's some algorithm where they come back less and less if you don't buy from them. I'm hoping there isn't. Uh-oh. I needed a good harvest, guys. So you know what? I'm going to try doing this. That just discards 1 field worth of food. They have to remove 120 crops. Fine. But I sacrificed 1 crop field and it just completely removed the issue. Now the question is, will this grow? Fire. Not a tailor. You know, I don't think there's a well anywhere near here. Oh wait, nope, there's one right next door. Ah, look at this. I planned ahead. I did good. You know what, we'll just remove you. We don't need that many tailors. We can go back to being naked people. Whew. Was a little nervous about the fire. Alright, we're going to extend a stone road out of this tunnel. Just across to there. The reserves of food is 25,000. But the harvest is just starting to come in. Early autumn, that's great. As long as people can get down here to pick up the harvest, we should actually have a very good harvest this year. And if we get to about 60,000 food, I'm going to be thrilled. Also, I should knock down my number of tailors by 1 because we burned down a tailor's building. I think that's a fair decision to do. And we can notice that this is still almost not at all being worked on. But this is so far away from any people, any housing. It makes sense that this is such a low priority project that it just takes forever to actually happen. But I think overall, my decision to go with accepting the nomads hasn't come back to bite me yet. It could be the beginning of the end. The question is, did my food expansion that I added here compensate for the amount of people that we have now added to the city? And I can't answer that with any good certainty right now. What are you guys supposed to be doing? You're probably supposed to be farmers. You have no jobs. Yeah. That's fine. But, so the question just comes down to, will this come back to bite us? If we can get our food up enough, and I think we are managing here, we're going to hit about 60,000, I assume. Even if the yield of these crops aren't great. No, we will not hit 60,000 because we had, once again, an early snow in late winter. I hate it when this happens because it really kills your fields. I mean, look at this. 50% or so of my crop fields are just gone. And I could try to get more people working on them, but I don't think that will fix the problem. Alright, what we do have is we have more laborers by a large margin right now. I need more school teachers to put us up to a 220 student capacity. And this project is finally being worked on. So I think the next episode, I'm going to try to expand to this region down here. I'm going to establish more farms. You know, we're going to probably have farms over here. Maybe up here as well. We're going to have more housing. Resources along those lines. Probably try to establish another cemetery. Our quarry is going great. Our coal industry is going great. Our school system is top notch, let's be honest. We'll have one of the most educated towns in the game, by far. But overall, I'm very pleased with how this is going. We have plenty of tools because we bought so much at the cost of a lot of food. No citizens are available to work on this demolishing project. That's fine. And I think overall, life is pretty good. So we're just going to re-assign you to be a potato field. And I'm going to say thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the show. If you feel like it, feel free to click the subscribe button. This series is attempting to be posted 3 times a week. Monday, Wednesday, and Saturday. I've been enjoying it. The goal for this, like I said, is to hit 900 people. But if we hit that soon, maybe I'm going to try to see how rapidly I can expand after that. But overall, I've been very pleased with this. We are, I think this is episode 11. So, you know, making great progress. We are getting really close to our target. At least in my mind. And, of course, largely through the use of nomads. I mean, look at this gap increase here. That was over 10% of our population increase in nomads. That's just marvelous, and we survived it, at least for now. We have potentially slight food issues, but nothing too bad. We have to finish filling this in, so I need to keep an eye out for apples again and a few other things. but one step at a time. So thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.